there. Thank you very much for taking the time and talking to us, as always. We now move on over and we move to South Asia. And former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has denied committing crimes against humanity in connection with the deadly crackdown on protests that led to her ousting in August of 2024. Speaking in her first exclusive interview since fleeing the country, Hasina dismissed the trial against her as a farce and a kangaroo court, claiming it was politically motivated. Hasina faces charges related to the killings of hundreds of protesters during a student-led uprising against her autocratic rule, with prosecutors seeking the death penalty. The former Prime Minister has rejected the accusations that she ordered security forces to open fire on unarmed civilians, though leaked audio suggests she authorized the use of lethal force. Security around the tribunal in Dhaka has been tightened as the verdict approaches. Hasina, now residing in India, also faces separate charges of corruption and human rights abuses from her 15-year rule, including involvement in secret jails and extrajudicial killings. Major General Sudhakar joins us once again to discuss this ongoing situation. We've seen this interview from Sheikh Hasina. We can't show it here on the channel. It was conducted with the BBC. However, fascinating to hear her words and fascinating to see her after, of course, she fled to India. She labels this case against her, where she's being tried in absentia, as a kangaroo court, a farce. Does Hasina's statements have any weight here, Major General? I believe you muted yourself. Okay, I think we have some audio issues. Apologies there. We will hopefully get that sorted out very soon. Of course, we are talking about Sheikh Hasina. Okay. Apologies there. Major General Sudhakar joins us once again. I just want to repeat the question. Hasina has called these charges a farce, a kangaroo court. Do these statements have weight?
Absolutely. In fact, it is slightly late. In fact, she should have come up a little earlier. But better late than never. I would compliment her, Sheikh Hasina, to have spoken her heart out. The reality of the matter is that the International Crimes Tribunal, which has issued an arrest warrant in early 2025 targeting Hasina and key former officials for crimes against humanity, to the best of my understanding, one has had adequate exposure in the global apex organizations and related organizations. This ICT does not have, unfortunately, any locus standi nor any authority to do what they're trying to exercise. If at all something is to be done, then there is the International Court of Justice. They are empowered and authorized to take. For that, a matter has to go up to the United Nations. The Security Council has to take an order. Because here you are trying to oust the elected leader of a country which is actually turning out to be an epitome of democracy in the Islamic world. That has to be understood. So therefore, and the whole thing has come about. I'm glad that she's speaking out aloud. You see, there are concurrent activities which are taking place down the order. And if you join the dots, Tulsi Gabbard, who's the Director of National Intelligence of the United States, during her visit to IISS International Studies, the think tank, she has given out a statement that United States of America, or the Washington, is already decisive on its course of action with regard to pulling back its involvement from regime change activities in countries in the world. That's a very remarkable statement or reflection from Tulsi Gabbard. And there has been an intense debate in the United States. And soon after that, Donald Trump himself, I have been given to understand by very credible and reliable sources, he has given very clear indications that Washington, he would like to pull back from all such kinds of avoidable activities, which is resulting in lots of deaths, lots of loss of revenue, and wasteful expenditure of the United States. So that's a clear indication, and I'm also very, very optimistic that there is some kind of a track to going on, and right feedback has gone to Sheikh Hasina, and if not late, the right articulations at the right place and time has been made by her. There is no place for such kind of activities by Yunus which should be allowed from the soil of Bangladesh, lest you are inviting creation of another Iran in 21st century, much against well accomplished and established democratic norms in the Islamic world. Back to you, Thomas.
Yeah, and what can you tell us about the support that Sheikh Hasina still has in Bangladesh? Of course, we've seen riots, we've seen explosions even in the Bangladeshi capital leading up to this verdict. What can you tell us about the tensions in Bangladesh right now in regards to her?
See, from 5th of August 2024, Thomas, I would say a lot of water have flown down the Ganges or Padma River, and lots of every day there are so many significant turn of events taking place. Yes, we understand Jamaati Islam and lots of convicts have been released from the jail, and so much so the jihadis who were earlier apprehended for on grounds of staging attacks against Indian security forces, civilian population, they also have been released. And there is a thing called as Rohingya Four Brotherhood Alliance has promoted. ISI has come in a big way. Hamas also has come in a big way. There is a clamor for greater Bangladesh in form of a cartographic warfare. Under this backdrop, I personally feel there is a majority in favor of Awami League today. They have been disallowed. They have been banned by the present interim government. That ban has to be lifted. And between you and me, Thomas, you will appreciate that if you go onto the political dynamics between BNP and Awami League, the Awami League still enjoys a popularity which is much more than 51%. Much more than 51%. It is just that they have been denied and their recognition, they are being disallowed to participate in the forthcoming election. Therefore, there is a kind of a violent upsurge taking place in the Bangladesh. This is going to douse, this is going to calm down with the US's support and intervention. I am very hopeful and optimistic that brighter days are ahead. There will be inclusive kind of election. If at all it takes place in February, Awami League will be allowed to participate. All that Sheikh Hasina is saying, let there be an participative involvement of the population, entire population in the election. Let there be inclusiveness in the election. Let it be a democratic form of government as it was existing earlier in the past. That is all she is demanding. And if that happens, I'm sure that day is not far when Sheikh Hasina will be back. There will be the regime, most probably by the mandate of the people, she is the one who will be restored status quo ante back to her power.
Okay, Major General Dhaka Ji, thank you very much as always. It's always a pleasure hearing your insight on these matters. We now move on over to Europe, and US officials have said that Swiss ministers have had positive talks in Washington in a bid to cut US President Donald Trump